Welcome to another new episode of True Off My Chest. Let's start with first news story, posted by MT Switch. I'm scared my 9-year-old is a danger to my 2-year-old. TW, childhood assault. My 9-year-old at the time of the first situation was 7, and my youngest was under 1. He was rubbing my baby's arms and legs, and ended up moving over the diaper that sits on top of the baby's genital area, and kept rubbing that specific area. I forcefully told my 7-year-old to stop, that was unacceptable, and he doesn't want to do it again, unless he wants to be in trouble. Maybe less than a week later he went to hug my infant goodnight while he was laying on my bed, and had to contort his hand and borderline groped his private area, again over the diaper. I yelled more than I ever have in my life, to stop, which I know was wrong, and told him stay away from the baby due to not respecting boundaries. I talked to social workers I know, and they recommended boundaries of no touching the baby at all, and he wasn't allowed alone again with the baby. We did this, and he started therapy. The therapist said she wasn't concerned. Fast forward a few months, and I let them play while I watched. I checked a message on my phone, and when I looked up, the oldest, who just turned 8-year-old, same kid as before, had his hand in a puppet Kermit, and the face resting on my infant's genital area while watching TV. Again he got in trouble, and we told the therapist, who again wasn't concerned. Now he's almost 10 and my youngest is 2. Last week we were all playing at the baby gate, and my 2-year-old had his hand on the gate, and my 9-year-old, almost 10, was stepping over the gate, but stopped and looked to me, had his genitals resting over my 2-year-old's hand. His dad doesn't think his son, I'm a stepmother, but really the only mom he has, doesn't think he's showing any odd signs, it's just normal curiosity. I do not. I think it's scary and red flags he will eventually assault my son more than just over the diaper or through pants. It's a 7.5-year age gap between them. He has had a bad childhood until I came into his life at 5. I have been told it's problematic because of the age gap and the fact he's been informed to stop. I'm wondering if anyone with experience, either a parent whose child showed signs like this, whose child assaulted a younger sibling, or a person who's had an older brother like this, can tell me any information on what to watch for. If this is a clear indicator he's being a predator, I cannot leave my husband, because then that means leaving my toddler alone in a household without protection. I can't remove my stepson, because his mother is a drug addict, and his father won't allow it. We have discussed, if we ever have proof he's hurting our youngest, he will be kicked out. But my husband thinks it's normal kid behavior and I don't. In my family, siblings have hurt other siblings like this. So my husband thinks I'm projecting, but this to me isn't normal. Please help me. Please give me advice. I will protect my child at all costs. As of right now, my toddler and I share a bedroom, and I plan on keeping that for as long as possible. I'm specifically not having another child because I'm scared my stepson is a threat. I should add he's not a bad kid who shows aggression or anger issues. In fact, he really only cries if he gets a screen taken or something, but he's not a great nor horrible kid in other ways. This is really the most concerning behavior I've seen from an otherwise okay child. Guys, I have calmly gone over autonomy and his brother's rights to not be touched. I explained why it was wrong. I have gently corrected his concerning behavior multiple times. I understand my original post, unedited, was quick and flustered, but please be a little less quick to being a editing to add I love this kid. Okay, I wrote this angry and fighting with my husband, and it bled into this and my comments. I want to help him as best I can, but I also want to protect my 2-year-old son as well. I can only do so much as a step-parent legally speaking. Okay, please stop being so towards me as a mother who is scared for both kids and fed up watching this happen. Also, I yelled very loud a year ago and have tirelessly worked to not yell ever in my house, no matter what's happening. So please chill the F out and find grace, and thank God you are not in my situation. Thank you. People have given some suggestion to OP on this post. Let's see. First suggestion from Thailand Short. Find a new therapist. Is it possible he experienced sexual issue out when he was young, or any exposure to sexual images? I agree this is concerning because he doesn't stop. I recommend teaching him the consent song to maybe start putting things into words if he had some bad past experience. Next suggestion from Armono. I don't want to scare you, but I would heavily pursue a different therapist until you get someone who listens to you. This is the kind of thing that ends up with the state taking your child away. I'm sorry, but your stepson has learned this somewhere. Maybe at a friend's house or even another relative. Where, other than your home, does he spend his time? Has he ever been in a daycare situation or had a specific sitter? Does he spend time with a relative? Please pursue this before it goes any further. I would also suggest getting a nanny cam. You can order them off the internet fairly cheaply, and I wouldn't tell anyone I installed it. Good luck. I hope it works out for you. Next suggestion from Consistent Risk. I'm not a psychologist, but this kind of behavior screams that this kid was exposed to some sexual situations that he shouldn't have been. I would definitely push for more therapy for him. As for your son, figure out what your line is. If you feel like you need to leave this as a valid reason, it's such of a situation and not fair to anyone, but the priority is your child's safety. You have to decide if the right course of action for you is more treatment for the older child or you leaving with your son. Next suggestion from Retinal and Evermore. I'm a therapist who works with children. I find this concerning. I'd get another opinion. Next suggestion from Happililstgo. I'm a teacher, which makes me a mandated reporter. If I were your child's teacher, I would have to call CPS. Your older child is most likely being molested. You need a new therapist. Your therapist is negligent as and should lose their licenses. Let's read today's second news story, posted by Successful Status. I'm considering breaking up with my girlfriend over the fact she keeps getting tattooed. For some context, my girlfriend and I have been together for 5 years. I'm 28-year-old and she's 26-year-old. Okay, so about a year ago, she expressed interest in getting a tattoo. I'm not a big fan of tattoos. It's just not something I find particularly attractive on anyone. She knows my views on them, and I told her it's her body, so she can technically do whatever she wants, but I don't have to like it. After some discussion, she said she'd get something relatively small. When she came home and showed it to me, I was surprisingly okay with it. I would still rather it not be there, but it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. Over the year, however, she's gotten more, and they're larger than I'd like them to be. It's been the cause of many of our fights and it's affecting our life. I love her, but I don't find her as attractive anymore. Well, on Saturday she went to a friend's house for a small get-together that I was supposed to go to, but I made an excuse not to. She didn't come home until Sunday afternoon and didn't answer my texts. When she came home, she revealed she got another tattoo, and it's the largest one yet, and it's on her neck. She absolutely loves it. I obviously hate it. We fought and I asked her why she didn't discuss this with me. Arm and leg tattoos are one thing, but this is too much for me. She said she was a little tipsy and told the guy who's been tattooing her that she wanted to do it, but was scared of what I'd think. He convinced her to get it done and told her what I think doesn't matter. She went to the studio he owns with her friends and she got it done. I asked if she's noticed we haven't had in months, and she said yeah, of course, and I told her why. She seemed hurt and I told her I don't know if I could get past this last one. She told me to figure it out and let her know because she doesn't want to waste her time. We haven't spoken since. A part of me knows this isn't salvageable anymore, but there's a small part of me that still loves her and thinks I'd be a dick for breaking up with her over this. People have given some suggestion to OP on this post. Let's see. First suggestion from Onaplinth. It's over. Rip the band-aid off quick and you can both get on with your lives. Young, unmarried, no kids, no hard feelings. Next suggestion from Hot Exy Girl. You're clearly not attracted anymore, so what's the point of continuing? She's going to do what she wants with her body. If tattoos are such a deal breaker for you, then you might as well just call it quits. Next suggestion from me number S Ricardo. If you are not attracted anymore, then just broke it off. Next suggestion from Nozendik. The tattoo artist tattooed a drunk girl who was expressing doubts. Next suggestion from Baron Brig. Tattooing a drunk person is sketchy as hell. Let's read today's third news story, posted by Key Elephant. My wife told my AP, I'd rather be 80-year-old me than 20-year-old you, and it haunts me every day. My wife and I were HS sweethearts. We are both 40 and have been together for 25 years. We have 2 children together, 5 and 6. For the past 5 years, I have thought that we are together because we basically grew up together. I met my now girlfriend, age of 28. I know I'm 12 years older, but I met her at work. She is beautiful and attractive, and I thought she was this new change I wanted. Instead of breaking it off with my ex and do the right thing, I cheated, and I got caught. My wife was so gracious about it. She didn't want us to be together anymore. This was a year ago, and I left our house and rented an apartment. We have yet to start divorce, although I don't want to. Neither of us was talking about it. My girlfriend, however, is not so happy about this, and mainly because I left our big house that's originally my house to my wife and daughters. I inherited from my grandparents and it is worth a fortune right now. My girlfriend means that it is my family home, and for me, yes, it is. My family is living there. But my girlfriend meant that when we get divorced, my wife has no claim to the house. 3 weeks ago, my girlfriend and I were dropping our daughters with their mother, and my girlfriend went against my wishes and started talking to my wife about the house. My wife was confused and said that the house is hers and her daughters, and she looked at me all confused, but my girlfriend told her that it was mine and it was time to move on. My wife then said that my girlfriend should put her nose in other people's business. Girlfriend became angry and said that my wife is a hag who is better because she's old. My wife smiled and said, "Is your age your only redeeming quality? Because that won't last." Then she said that she'd rather be 80-year-old herself than 20-year-old my girlfriend. She wasn't angry or bitter. She isn't old either. She is 40, like me. Am I so old according to my girlfriend? She's very beautiful too. I don't know what my girlfriend was thinking. I felt so ashamed and angry with myself. My girlfriend was immature and embarrassing. I have been unhappy for months now, but if I broke it off, it means that I have hurt my family for nothing. My wife called me next day and said that maybe we should start talking about divorce. I broke down crying the moment we ended the call. Now every time I see her, I want to be in her arms and cry. Just thinking about 80-year-old her with 80-year-old me beside her. The way we envisioned ourselves every time we saw an elderly couple holding hands or kissing, and we thought this will be us too. I realized I'd rather have 80-year-old her than 20-year-old anyone. But I have messed that up. People have given some suggestion to OP on this post. Let's see. First suggestion from Raspberry. Hahaha, I love that for you. Your beautiful girlfriend didn't want you. She wanted what your ex-wife had. I hope your ex finds a man who will hold her hand the rest of her life, like she deserves. Next suggestion from Beginning Stop. It's clear where your girlfriend's interests are. Of course she sees you as old too. Next suggestion from Since the Miller Street. I have been unhappy for months now, but if I broke it off, it means that I have hurt my family for nothing. Don't be so hard on yourself. You didn't hurt your family for nothing. You hurt them for your own benefit and pleasure. Next suggestion from Apprehensive Care 20Z. Spoiler alert. Spoiler, you have hurt your family for nothing. Spoiler. Next suggestion from Fun Statistician. Break up with the girlfriend and admit you made mistake, man. You're an idiot who keep making all the wrong decisions, yet not man enough to correct your mistakes. Also give your amazing wife that divorce so she can find man worthy of her, if that's what she wants. No matter what, that lady is going to be so much better without you. Thank you.